And so then now you'll have two videos that you could watch, one for decision levels and one for trend lines. And next class, we're going to look at MTF, and then we're going to combine both of those topics of this week, what we learned today with MTF. And then the following classes that proceed after that will be just us refining our knowledge and just building upon that. One of the main pieces to the puzzle is time, real time and closing, how the candles are closing using OHLC like I showed you, and how the candles are forming and rejecting or breaking the levels. All that's those little subtleties, and those are a little bit more advanced, but those little subtleties will complete the puzzle for you. I can assure you that. So trend lines, there's five trend lines, I believe. But the top of my head, I can remember there's five signature trend lines that we use. And there is just only two main basic rules for trend lines. It's Let me just draw something out for you guys. So what am I showing you right here exactly? What is this stuff for? This is pretty much the point of contact of your trend lines. As you can see, I actually have a moving average on my chart. I don't know if you see it or not, but let me just thicken it out a little bit for you. Um, you can see that there is this moving average at the period of one, and I'm putting it on the close. You can do this on your MT4 as well. I'm pretty sure you're well aware of that. But that is tracking the closing price, right? So for trend lines, the basic rule, the main one is that point one and two must uh tap into must come or yeah must let's say must tap or must be conceived, must tap into closing price. Uh, what do I mean by that? Is that this is a closing price. This is a closing price. We have our most basic trend line. It's just a divergent straightaway trend line, one, two tap, three tap. So let's look at that example. This is TL type 1. Basically, what it is you have something like this right here. Okay, so point one, point two is coming at the A and V, right? This is V right here, V closing price. And then point three is our entry. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So that's the main rule with the trend line, is that the first tap and the second tap needs to come from the closing price, or the A and V in this case. Another example of TL1 would be something like this. I think it doesn't work. Oh no, this one they don't work. Let's see. TL1. This one's good. Yeah. So you have point 1, point 2, point 3. So your entry will be here, and then pretty much that is that the main rule, right? Is points 1 and 2 needs to come from closing price. Where is my diagram? Okay. Okay. Points 1 and 2 needs to come from closing price. Tap into closing price and price. Oops. And remember this rule. This is probably one of the most important rules with, well, it is the most important rule for trend line. So if you're buying, the third tab should come below your decision level, DL. If buying, third tab should come below DL. If selling, the third tab should above your DL. Let me say that again. If buying, the third tab should come below your DL. If selling, third tab should come above your DL. Okay, and I'll go over this in just a moment. So what you see is, let me clear the charts, find a good example. Okay, see if this is good. No, like that. Let's see if we can find a decision, a trend line here as a confluence, because that's what trend lines are. If you're selling, right, what you want to see, let's just say, for example, I'll find some more valid examples, right? If you want to sell, right, and you found this decision level and you're looking for a trend line, well, what you want to see is price closing doing something like this. Like you want to minimize your drawdown. If you're selling, you want the third tab to be above your trend line, right? So instead of entering straight at our support and resistance level, um, we're minimizing our drawdown by entering from the trend line. So this would entering from there would be about 30 pips. Entering at the trend line would be about half that drawdown. Pretty sure there's, but this is just an example. I mean, let me find a real one. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. The decision level. Why is this level important? If you drag it across, closed above this guy. So you're bullish. See that price is pulling back down into our decision level because it broke below above this level. And then when you see this happening right here, you'll try to find your trend line. Let's see. This is the one here. Yeah, that's right. Just like that. Tap one, tap two, and then tap three. You can see that price jabs in instead of, and you can. So people do that, and if just based off their comfort zone, they cannot find the trend line, they'll just enter straight away from the decision level. But we want precision. So instead of going through this drawdown of 25 pips almost, you're literally getting this tight entry, sharp sniper, and you barely even you're into profit right away. And then just for this example, once you got that entry, price created another decision level here, and then it rejected. And if you missed this initial one, you could do the same thing. You just look for a decision level that's been confirmed, and then you look for another trend line. And
Wouldn't
hmm,
so with this rejection, wouldn't that be the confirmation?
can you annotate it?
Um, yeah, this one. Isn't this like the confirmation making this level valid?
Yeah, yeah. So, yep, 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 yep. If
Okay.
you if you got this trade, well done. If you didn't, you would monitor price and you would already have your market flow already set as bullish. Just based
Okay.
off the way you would, yeah, you would be bullish.
So
And
like you could
go ahead.
kind of like take one without a confirmation if you start seeing it like reject from the trend line, kind of.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Like this, because this is a decision level, right? It closed above a previous
Yeah.
source point. So when the price was coming up here, we wanted to see it either reject or break, right? It broke. What broke it? The source came here, and you see that it rejected. You just make sure I got this right. Right? So yeah, this open and close, it rejected it, and then it confirms it. You can enter at this level. If you even miss at this one, if you're bullish, right? What does that mean, right? Price needs to open low, and you see that it creates the low, and then it rejects our level, and then let's just see even if on lower time frame there is that some more information that we can use for entry at because the level confirmed and you probably missed this guy. How do you get involved in here? So let's go to M30. Um, I see. Yeah, like this trend line here, right? So you can enter even from there. Because we're prioritizing our H like a higher time frame always. Um, if you miss that entry right here, getting into this would pretty much be this entry right here. And what do you see is that after it does that, no given point in time, the price um closed below these levels, right? Pushes up. You got this entry right here. So uh, uh, open, yeah, open, low, I mean, open, high, low, entry, close. if you're bullish, it's gonna open, low, high, and close, even though it closed below this decision level, it didn't actually close below your main key level that's coming from most likely coming from a higher time frame level. That's why, this is M30, so the break of it, it's going to it's not as valid as what you see on H1, right? Because H1, this is your decision level. You see that H1 is just it's just a rejection of it. And then what do you see is that if you miss this one, there was multiple opportunities here, and then you get this really massive, I don't know, it's probably like CPI or something, but you have this break here, and you have this break here. So let's see what happens. Price comes. Oh yeah, definitely something that's news. Yeah, but let's just see what happens when the price comes to those levels. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, sorry, I say MTF is literally going to blow your mind, but rejected something here. This level, um, when you first learned about SNR on YouTube or something, you were told to go to a monthly time frame and find levels that have multiple reactions, and then when price comes to it, you could take the buy. That's what they taught you. But now we have more objective reasoning why this level you can use to trade, right? If you can see just from this time frame alone, this is a decision level, right? Pushed price up. Price then created a decision to break this level, and then eventually price came back up to reject this level. Price rejected this level. Price broke this level. Price rejected this level. Now it's doing this. We're gonna go over this topic on another. This is gonna be multi-time frame. But the idea is that you can use these levels as forms of support and resistance. And you'll be able to add, like say you got into this position, and you'll be able to add to your positions. Just the fact that just knowing alone the fact that this key area had multiple rejections, and that it's been respected, just keeping it very simple, along with the idea of decision levels, um, you you, you can then simplify your understanding that this level is okay to be used. And you see that once it rejected, it created some more decisions to go up. So let's just see if this level actually held or not. Um, yeah, so it pushed up and closed above this. And now we have something up here that we need to monitor, right? This is a decision level, right? Um, Price. So this is a gap. Let me just make sure I'm getting this right. I do want to get back into trend lines, but um, this is a gap level that broke, and then you would maintain your positions up into the next decision level. Then you see that actually this one started to take price down to the other direction, other side. Um, all right, so let's go back into the trend lines. There's trend line one, trend line two. trend line 2 is breakout, so it would be something like this. And I have PDF for you, so then you have point of reference of what they look like. Right, so this bearish example is point 1, point 2, break, point 3. This is T2, type 2, this is type 1, just change the color. Oh no, I'll just leave it as it is. Um, Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. So that's trend line type 1. That's right. Type 3 is going to be like a head and shoulders pattern. So it's gonna be like something this. Is our trend line. 1.2, 0.3. This trend line can also look, I mean, this schematic can also look like this, where the head, like I said, it's a head and shoulders trend line. It can come in between point A and B. So for this example, this is point A, this is point B, this is point C. The head of it came in between point B and point C. For this one, it came in between point A and point B. And that is completely valid. The head can come in between either or. So this is trend line type 3. Type 4 is pretty much like type 2. So let me draw it out for you guys. You have support, break, resistance, resistance. It's very similar to this one, but in this one, you see that you have resistance, resistance before the breakout. So two rejections of the trend line before the breakout. Type 4 is pretty much two rejections after the first breakout. I hope you guys can see it. They're very similar, but it's just the support points A and B are before the breakout on type 2, and points B and C are operating as resistance after the breakout of support right here. I'll show you some examples of these in just a moment. Let me just get through the last one. Type 5 is also another, it's like also another head and shoulders type pattern, a schematic. Um, Let me draw it out and I'll explain what it's like. So right here. 0.1. This is 0.2. This is 0.3. This is like a QML for Quasimodo. There's something gonna I don't know if you guys you guys studied this pattern, but um it's kind of like this head and shoulders pattern, but even like the way this pattern is formed, there could be like a closing thing like this, and it'll give you a V shape thing right here like this. I'll show you examples in a sec, but it'll push down like that, and then just like this, you can connect it and then get the entry here. So those are our trend lines. Again, like I said, I'll send you a PDF of what they look like, and it's a more cleaner look of them. And if you guys have trouble identifying them, I have a bunch of examples for you. So raise. So type 5. Type 6 is pretty much crossing of these trend lines. We'll go over that next time. So it's like you could have this trend line also combining with another trend line, like type 3, for example. You could come down across like this, or um, even like this right here, right? This could be like a big wick right here. Then you have what is it? Type 2, right? So it could be this right here. It's pretty much two of our signature trend lines mixing together to giving us that like convergence that like convergence point of our level of our just like our decision level, probably uh, gonna be here. Let me get that straight. And your price is converging into your trend line. It's rejecting your key level. You have multiple trend lines, and then you can take the shot and take the entry and go down. Okay, so those are our trend lines. Again, I'll go over the crossing trend line next time. I don't want to confuse you guys too much, and I'll give you guys a document of this in a cleaner format in a PDF. So let's look over some examples of them, just trend lines alone. So the way of marking the trend line would be like, this is type 1, right? Yeah, points 1, point 2, 3. Okay, and let's see if they have another one here. So I want to get trend line here. I'm trying to find that one. Yeah. So this is supports resistance. That is trend line type 4, right? And then our decision level would be something like this right here. think it could be this one. Yeah, that's our point decision level. It's the crossing of your. It's so cool when you see this stuff work in real time. You'll be so amazed at how efficient this stuff is. Okay, so moving forward, let's look at this decision level here. How can I get involved in this one? Uh, wait, don't see it on this time frame. Just give me a second to clear it out. Okay, let's go to 8:30. Other than where is it? Cool. So no, that's not the one. So on M30, you have the breakout trend line. So it's resistance. I mean support, break, and then resistance. And then I think there's a crossing trend line here. I just can sense. I feel like there is one, or maybe not. Mm, mm, yeah, you could use that as well. Being that this is support, and then resistance. Completely valid. You could look for some more examples of each trend line. I have a couple videos that I actually will share for you guys. It's just me going through a bunch of examples of each trend line. I will share that with you. Uh, no worries. Okay. This is trend line type 5. It's this one right here. Yeah. Uh, yeah. It's this guy right here. Your trend line right there. You have resistance, support, resistance. So put it on chart, resistance, support, and tight entry resistance. Just like that. And your decision level is right there. Oops. So instead of taking the trade at this source break as B, you're actually taking it from this quick tap of the trend line. Clean as fuck. Okay, cool. Let's go look for some more examples of trend line. Hmm. So what is this? Oh, this is Saxo, that's why. Right, so Amanda. Let's see trend lines here. Okay, so this would be trend line type 1, closing price, resistance, resistance, resistance. We have, I believe this is, yeah, trend line type, it's the head and shoulders. So it's, this one, um, yeah, three. So tap 1. This is your head right here, head, head, tap 2, and then tap 3, drop, and let's see. That's there should be another one because this is a lot of drawdown. Something like this, probably. Yeah, there you go. And actually, yeah, that's the one because it's lining up nicely with your decision level. This is your support, resistance, resistance. That is type 2, I believe. Yeah, type 2. I get confused with type 2 and type 4. It's this one right here. Supports, break, resistance, resistance. It's just a matter of being able to identify them in real time. Might seem a little overwhelming. But when you back test and you do it on your own and try to find them, uh, giving it a couple weeks, you'll slowly get comfortable with identifying them. And then when you're trading in real time, you'll have, especially when you're because we mainly will focus on H4, H1, you'll have enough time to look for your trend lines that match up with your decision levels. And that's the basic idea of it is when you have a level, we sit patient and then we don't predict, we like to react. Um, that's like a quote that I'm old mentor used to say, uh, we like to react and not predict. Um, so yeah, let's move forward to another example. Let's see how you could get this by with a sharp trend line. All right, we have a level here. This is decision level type 1. You can see that it's already been confirmed one time. You're allowed to take this trade again. So how can you get involved? You would use a trend line. Let's see if this guy is the one. Yes, yes. Okay, so this is our head and shoulders trend line. Right? We have their head, and then we have tap 1, tap A, tap B, and then our entry is tap C or tap 3, whatever. But you can see that it's operating as a confluence at your decision level. And we only use these signature trend lines because I wish I can give you more objective explanation as to why these work, but they work, and yeah, it's just an added confluence. Um, and to be quite frank, again, I don't know how to explain it why, but it's so sharp, and you can see that it gives you these types of entries. Um, so yeah, just practice it. We'll keep practicing it, and it's just a matter of time, of getting your eye sharp, and being able to identify them. Same thing like something like this one. This is our support, resistance trend line. You can see how beautifully it just rejects it and drops. Let's see what else. I don't want to spend too much time because I'll send you some more videos of trend lines so that you have plenty of examples to watch. But yeah,
Don't
let's
worry, don't worry, Robbie. We understand that it takes time to get this in the eye. So yeah, even this
yeah.
alone, this first class will take time to digest.
Yes, yes. Right. So what I'll do is I will stop the recording.